Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today, I got a pretty fun topic for you guys, and the topic is, are Kawhi Leonard and Kevin Durant easily the best players in the NBA? So that's the topic I want to get into in today's video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. I've always said that the two players that I have at the top of the mountain at the NBA currently, right now, I think are Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard. I think these guys are easily the two best players in all of basketball, right? This is just what I truly believe, that I think these guys are just on another level. If you look at Kawhi Leonard's career accomplishments, for example, the guy has a pretty unique resume thus far. He's a two-time NBA champion, a two-time Finals MVP. He's a five-time All-Star. He's an All-Star Game MVP. He's been on 3 All-First teams, 2 second teams. So he's been on 5 All-NBA teams. He has 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards. He's been on 3 All-First defensive teams and 4 second defensive teams. Think about that. This guy's been on 7 all-defensive teams. And he led the league in steals in 2015, right? Kawhi Leonard has a very unique resume. And if you look at his career, if you look at his resume, you can see that he's really a two-way player. If you look at Kevin Durant, who's a more decorated basketball player, I believe, because he has more tenure, but he has a very stellar resume. He's a 2-time NBA champion, 2-time Finals MVP. He won the regular season MVP award in 2014. He's an 11-time All-Star, 2-time All-Star Game MVP. He's been on 9 All-NBA teams, 6 first, 3 second. He was the Rookie of the Year in 2008. Something that's even more impressive than that, he's been a part of the 50-40-90 club, which is when you shoot 50% from the field, 40% from the 3, and 90% from the free throw line. He also won 4 scoring championships. So Kevin Durant is a walking artillery. Like he is lethal, especially on the offensive side of the floor. So if you look at their accomplishments, these guys are just on a different level. If you look at their stats, however, these guys put up great numbers, but really where they start to set themselves apart from everyone else is when they get into the playoffs. When we get into the playoffs, you then begin to discover just how good these guys are. Let me give you guys Kevin Durant's numbers just these last playoffs, right? Let me just give you his numbers. These last playoffs, Kevin Durant scored 34.3 points per game. Okay. He did that shooting 51.4% from the field. That is an insane amount of efficiency. He shot 40.2% from the 3. And he shot 87% from the free throw line. Basically, he was basically having a 50-40-90 playoff run, right? It was just that his free throws are off a bit. He was getting you 9.3 rebounds, 4.4 assists, 1.5 steals, and 1.6 blocks. These are cartoonish numbers, man. These are cartoonish numbers, and these are the type of numbers that Kevin Durant is capable of putting up. If you look at Kawhi Leonard, on the other hand, because KD's always been the better scorer, like there's no two ways about it. Kawhi Leonard was averaging 30.4 points per game. He was shooting 57% from the field. 57%. That's higher than Giannis. Anyway, he was shooting 39.3% from the 3, 88% from the free throw line, and he was virtually having a 50-40-90 playoff run. The numbers are very similar. It's just that Kawhi Leonard's overall field goal percentage was higher. He was getting 7.7 rebounds per game, 4.4 assists, but he was getting 2.1 steals and 0.08 in blocks, right? These guys, listen, these guys were just, these guys are, they were incredible. In my personal opinion, I think Kawhi Leonard is one of the 5 best players in the NBA during the regular season. During the regular season, there are other players out there that can make a better case to be the best player in the NBA if you're looking at just the regular season numbers, right? Kawhi Leonard doesn't push himself to his limits in the regular season. That's just not something that he does. But in the playoffs, however, I think Kawhi Leonard becomes easily the best two-way player in all of basketball. I think there's no question about this, right? There's no question about this. It's one of the reasons he has the highest winning percentage in NBA history and also in the playoffs, right? Now, some people will say that Kevin Durant is the more efficient shooter than Kawhi Leonard, and that's not really true. Now, I just showed you that Kawhi Leonard had the higher overall field goal percentage, but we recently did a comparison between Kobe Bryant and LeBron James, and LeBron had the highest overall field goal percentage between the two. Kobe Bryant shot 44.5% from the field for his career. LeBron is shooting about 50% from the field. And I said, listen, those numbers are a bit misleading given the fact where these guys are getting their shots from. Given the fact that Kobe, the majority of his shots came from the perimeter, and LeBron, the majority of his shots came closer to the basket. The numbers were a bit misleading. But in this case, however, I want to give you guys just a quick breakdown of their shooting percentages from distance so you can understand just how on par these guys are from distance. Now, let's look at this here for a second quickly. From 0 to 3 feet, we're just going to look at their careers, right? From 0 to 3 feet, Kevin Durant is shooting 73.6% from the field. That's insane, right? That's higher than Kobe Bryant did, right? If you look at Kawhi Leonard, from 0 to 3 feet, he's shooting 70% for his career. If you look at from 3 to 10 feet out, Kevin Durant is shooting 44.6% from that distance over his career. If you look at Kawhi Leonard, he's shooting 47.3%. Kawhi Leonard is shooting a higher field goal percentage from 3 to 10 feet out, that distance. That will surprise a lot of people. I think a lot of people would assume that, hey, listen, KD is obviously the best shooter. Not really. Kawhi Leonard is an extremely efficient scorer. You're talking about Michael Jordan levels of efficiency, okay? So that's what they're shooting from that distance. If you take it a step further out, from 10 to 16, Kevin Durant is shooting 46% from that distance, right? If you look at Kawhi Leonard, for his career, he's shooting 46.4%. So right now, as it stands, from 0 to 3 feet, KD has Kawhi Leonard beat. But from 3 to 16 feet, Kawhi Leonard is basically a 46% shooter. He's shooting a higher field goal percentage than KD from that distance. Now, from 16 feet to the 3-point line, Kevin Durant is shooting 44.1% over his career. If you look at Kawhi Leonard, he's shooting 44.1%. So they shoot the exact same percentage from that distance. And when you go, obviously, from the 3-point line, Kevin Durant is a 38.4% three-point shooter, and Kawhi Leonard is a 38.4% three-point shooter. What the numbers are telling me here is this. Although, and Kawhi Leonard for his career is a 53% field goal shooter, it tells me that these guys are on the same level when it comes to efficiency. Literally, they're on the same level. But if you just looked at the overall field goal percentage in the playoffs, you say Kawhi Leonard is much more efficient. No, they're equal. And that's the reason why I wanted to put their numbers into context. If you're looking at their shooting percentages as far as distance over their career, and you can quickly see that, listen, Kawhi Leonard is, the guy's on another level. Now, you see that they shoot similar percentages, from the same distance. But I think where Kawhi Leonard gets a slight edge over Kevin Durant is on the defensive side of the floor. Because Kawhi Leonard is an elite defensive player. KD has never made an all-defensive team, right? You're talking about somebody that's won 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards. And I remember when the Clippers were going against the Dallas Mavericks in round 1. When they needed to slow Luka Doncic down, they put Kawhi Leonard on him. And Kawhi Leonard was slowing him down. The only way Luka Doncic was able to beat Kawhi Leonard, he needed a pick. He couldn't beat him off the dribble. He couldn't break him down and score on him at a 40% clip. He couldn't do it. It was in the 30s, right? And that's, to me, I think that is the difference. And that's why I give Kawhi Leonard the slight edge. Because in the playoffs, he's an all-time great, but his defense goes with his offense. Usually what you see is that elite defenders that can score, there's a trade-off. They score a little bit more and they conserve some of the energy on defense. In the case of Kawhi Leonard, that's not the case. In the playoffs, he goes to a completely different level, and dare I say, he goes to a Jordan-esque type level. So in my opinion, listen, I think these guys are easily the 2 best players in the NBA. I know some people are going to pick Kevin Durant. If you pick Kevin Durant, I have no argument with you. I can completely understand why you would pick Kevin Durant. In my opinion, I think, as I said before, Kawhi Leonard in the regular season is a top 5 player in the NBA. in the playoffs, at the very least, he's the best player in the Western Conference, and Kevin Durant is the best player in the Eastern Conference. And I wish we can get a finals between these two guys to see what's what, because I think we would be in store for one of the greatest showdowns in the history of the NBA, especially players who play the same position. I think it would be more because, listen, I think that watching KD versus Kawhi in the playoffs, I think these guys would be able to put on a show of just pure shooting. But it would also give me a chance to see Kawhi Leonard guard Kevin Durant in key moments and see if KD can truly be stopped in those key moments, because I think Kevin Durant is unguardable. I think he's one of those players that when he misses, it really has nothing to do with the defense that you're playing on him. He just misses. Like, he shoots 50%. I mean, KD's on another level, and I would love to see Kawhi Leonard, take up that challenge. I don't think he'll be successful slowing down Kevin Durant, but I think he's the best player. He would do the best job humanly possible by any basketball player in the world today, and trying to slow down Kevin Durant. So these are my thoughts. This is what I think. I know some people are going to disagree. So whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro, wishing you guys an amazing day. Catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.